Good morning, everyone. Welcome to
Good
today's
morning.
episode of The Joy of Life. Today is an extremely important and special episode for all of us where we are celebrating Ugadi. It's the symbolism of a new beginning. So, Prameya wishes you all a very happy, healthy, and prosperous Ugadi. We have with us today our founder director, Dr. Sandhya Ravi, who's going to give us some valuable insights on supportive care. And she also has a special guest whom she's going to introduce to all of us. We also have our Joy of Life participants with us today who've been with us over the last 8 months through this journey. And they have also come forward to share some wonderful inputs today. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you, Lalita. Good morning and happy Ugadi to all our viewers. It's wonderful to have everyone with us here today in the journey that we're going through in this Joy of Life program. I want to talk a little bit about Prameya for those who are not familiar with our organization. It is a preventive and a supportive care organization, and our philosophy is to encourage and empower people to take charge of their lives. Through our various we started we now have a wonderful community of healthcare workers, patients, and their caregivers. The program itself provides support in various aspects of addressing unmet needs of patients. So, what are these unmet needs? Many people ask. In fact, a lot of people have a confusion about what is supportive care. Is it same as palliative care? It is not. So, supportive care can begin right from the time of diagnosis through the treatment and even post treatment for many years. So, what we try to address, what we think, what are these unmet needs? Those are the needs which are not given so much attention during the actual mainstream treatment of cancer of a patient. So, in four domains, we address these. One is the functional, one is the emotional, then the nutritional, and the spiritual, what we call the FENS dimensions. When we say functional, it could be related to pain, body pain, restriction of movement, arm swelling. Then, of course, everybody knows the fears, anxieties, worries, sleeplessness that people go through, the nutritional aspects of what to eat, what not to eat. And finally, the very purpose of life is questioned in your journey through diagnosis and treatment. So these things programs. And what we've seen in these programs that we've done is that much beyond the academic definition of supportive care, we've come across certain very intangible things that happen that we cannot really put our finger on it. It is all about in our interaction with women, we've seen it's all about finding your footing in this path. It is about opening up, sharing your concerns, enjoying the little joys, the times, small achievements that you have, and getting the support from your support group, the appreciation, which does a lot to your self-esteem. It's all about realizing that life is not about faraway anxieties and fears, but the joy of the present moment. So that is what we have found in the interaction with all of you. And today we have all these women who lead example, who prove that nothing can be a barrier to them to get back into normal. And in this context, I would love to introduce Dr. Jyoti Menon, who's a very senior gynecologist and a reproductive health specialist, a cancer warrior herself, who is with Prameya now. And it'll be great to hear her story of resilience and courage and how she came out stronger and more determined to lead an absolutely happy and normal life. Welcome, Dr. Jyoti. We'd love to hear your story.
Thank you, Dr. Sandhya. Good morning to all our viewers and Yugadi Habbada Hartika Subhashayagalu. I'm Dr. Jyoti Menon, at present working as Director of Infertility Services at Gunashila Hospital, Bangalore. And I would like to share with all our viewers as well as my fellow participants my own journey through the cancer, disease and treatment, which happened 15 years ago and which was very, very different from what it is today. I was diagnosed as early stage 1 breast cancer in April 2006, and I finished surgery, 31 radiations and 4 chemotherapies by December of that year. The biggest challenge for me at that time was, unfortunately, my own husband had been diagnosed 6 months earlier to my own diagnosis with advanced stage 4 lung cancer, and he in fact passed away in the middle of my treatment in June 2006. This made me realize that I was going to be the only person available to provide emotional, financial, psychological support, both for myself as well as our only daughter, who was 18 years old at that time, waiting to join undergraduation at Christ College. This made me realize and understand that I need to take all the treatment as quickly as possible, including the very toxic chemotherapy. And for this, I had to draw upon my own inner strength, because I knew I had to finish the treatment as quickly as possible and get back to my own job. In fact, my own job as a doctor was the one which gave me the greatest support and strength, because interacting with my own patients, understanding and trying to find solutions for their problems, especially the ones with infertility. These are the ones which really helped me forget my own for a long time. Another huge pillar of strength was my employers, who allowed me to work at my own pace during the whole process of chemotherapy. I also took a lot of solace in doing yoga, meditation, and pranayama, because although I am a medical doctor, I believe that holistic treatment is the only one which really will help you in the healing process initially and will continue to heal once you finish your treatment also. Again, I want to emphasize, I may have been a doctor and I did know some of the side effects which come with chemotherapy, but I really did not know the kind of gastrointestinal symptoms which you get. And there was nobody really to explain to me the kind of nausea, vomiting, all different kinds of gastrointestinal effects, sometimes burning. Along with that, the feeling of hopelessness, feeling of depression, and of course, the massive and sudden hair loss. See, at that time, 15 years ago, talking itself about cancer was taboo. So who would I go and discuss all this with? There definitely was no place like Pramaya, which is a center which, along with all the medical needs, will allow a patient or a person to come and understand that there are so many other factors which have to be looked in for complete and continuous healing, not only during treatment, but even after that. So I'm extremely happy to be associated with Pramaya, and I hope I will be able to contribute in some way. My own motto in this whole thing is, you believe in yourself, and you are the only one who can have that inner strength which will make you go through any kind of problem in the whole process, in this whole journey of life. And with this, I would like to introduce all my fellow participants. I, in fact, call them my comrades in arms, because we are all fighting. We have all fought the war against cancer. And they will tell you all in their own ways, in conversation with Dr. Lalita Priya, how they found their inner strength. Over to you, Dr. Lalita Priya.
Ma'am, very courageous words, and you've gone through it so beautifully. Thank you. And now I would like to talk to each of my lovely Joy of Life participants and how each of them found their own route to come out of this difficult times. So we have the youngest among all of us, who is so bubbly, lively, and like a child. she actually defies her age. So age is just a number. So we have Sunita Mohammed ma'am. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you've been through this 3 times and always smiling and full of positivity. Please tell us how emotional strength is important to go through this and come out of it successfully.
First of all, good morning and happy Ugadi to all of you. And I wish this year will give us some very good news about Corona. And I'm really happy that I know Prameya through, I met Sandhya and I know all of you through Prameya. And a place like Prameya is boon for cancer survivors and patients. I was only 49 when I was first time diagnosed with cancer, but I was not scared. And, I just wanted to live for my sons. At that time, there was no other thought in my mind. And somehow I knew that Almighty will take care of everything. And I would like to tell everyone that don't feel sorry for yourself, because this is a disease and it can go to anyone at any time. So accept it gracefully. And during this time, try to find your passion and try to do whatever you always wanted to do. And with today's technology, we can do everything possible sitting at home. And you can learn almost everything. And if anyone gives you sympathy, just say no. Accept empathy, but not sympathy. Choose empathy. That is my message. And wishing you all very healthy life ahead.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such motivating words. And
Thank
in the same connect, we would like to speak to our ever smiling and full of happiness, Mrs. Manjula Vasant, who can make everyone laugh with her wit. And Madam, namaskara.
Namaskara.
Namaskara. Chanagidira. Ugadi Habbada Shubhashaygalu.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ನಾನು ಹಾಡು ಹೇಳಕ್ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಪ್ಪ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಡು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯುಗ ಯುಗಾದಿ ಕಳೆದರೂ ಯುಗಾದಿ ಮರಳಿ ಬರುತ್ತಿದೆ, ಹೊಸ ವರುಷಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಸ ಹರುಷವ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ತರುತ್ತಿದೆ, ಮರಳಿ ಮರಳಿ ಬರುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಹೊಸ ಯುಗಾದಿ, ಹೊಸ ಚಿಗುರು, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹೊಸತನ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ನಾವ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಳೇದನ್ನ ನೆನ್ಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ಇವತ್ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೇನ್ರಿ ನಾವು ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ? ಖಂಡಿತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಆರೋಗ್ಯದಾಯಕ, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ತಾನಾಗೇ ದೂರ ಆಗ್ತವೆ, ಪರಿಹಾರ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಏನ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಾಲಿಟಿನ ಮೊದಲು ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೌದು ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ವಾಸಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಷ್ಟು ಧೈರ್ಯ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ವಿಷಯ ಮುಚ್ಚಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಏನೋ ನಾವೇ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ತರ ಖಂಡಿತ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ಬೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಇದೇ ಕೆಲ್ಸ, ನನ್ಗಾಯ್ತು, ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡೆ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋದೆ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರನ್ನೂ ನಂಬ್ತೀವ್ರಿ, ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯವ್ರನ್ನ ನಂಬ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾರೋ ದೂರದವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಬ್ತೀವಿ, ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಬ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಓದಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಂಬೋದ್ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕತ್ತೆ. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನಂಬ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ದಿರ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ನೇ ನಂಬಿದ್ರೆ ಪಾಪ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಮನ್ಸನ್ನ ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನಮ್ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಈ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ
ಬದುಕು ಒಂದ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಹೊಡೆದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವ್ ಅದುವರೆಗೂ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ, ಆಸ್ತಿ, ಅಂತಸ್ತು, ಒಡವೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಜನಗಳ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನೇನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಅಂತ ಮೊದ್ಲು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ನಾವು ನಮ್ ಬದುಕಿಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡೋವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನು, ನಮಗ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನು, ಅದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಣ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅದೇ ಕೆಲಸ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಗ್ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಗನಗತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಒಂದ್ 35 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನು ಇವಳು ಗಂಭೀರವಾಗಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ಆಡ್ತಾಳ, ವಯಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂಗಿರೋದ್ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ ರೀ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲೂ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿ ನಗ್ಬೋದು. 4 ಜನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿ ಒಂದ್ ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ನಗನಗತಾ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲೇ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಮೇಯ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ನಗನಗತಾ ಮಾತಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನಗನಗತಾ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನನ್ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹೊರೆನ ಅವರೇ ಇಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ನಮ್ಗೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ, ಬನ್ರಿ ಯೋಗ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಡೈಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಲಲಿತಾ ಪ್ರಿಯಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಬನ್ನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ, ನಿಮ್ಗೇನ್ ಬೇಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯೋಗದಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯಾಗಿ ರಾತ್ರಿ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡೋಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೀಟ್ಲೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹತ್ರ ಹೆಗಲ್ ಕೊಡೋರು ನಮ್ ಸಂಧ್ಯಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ ಮಂಜುಳಾ, ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲಾ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತೆಯರು ನಮ್ಗಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಜೀವನನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬಂತು. ಸೊ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ ಹಾಬಿಗಳೇನಿದೆ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನನ್ ಹಾಬಿ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓದೋದು, ಬರವಣಿಗೆ, ಕತೆ ಬರೆಯಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಕವನ ಬರೆಯಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಒಂದಿಬ್ರು ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರ ಮುಂದೆ ಓದೋದಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ ಪ್ರಮೇಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ ನಾಟಕ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ, ಆ ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು, ನನಗೇನು ಮಾಡದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಇದ್ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮ್ ಮನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಖುಷಿನೂ ಆಚೆ ಬರೋ, ನನ್ ಮನ್ಸು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅದರಿಂದ 4 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಉಪಯೋಗನೂ ಆಯ್ತು. ಹಾಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ವಿಷಯನ 4 ಜನದ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಏನ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರು, ನಮ್ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರ, ಯಾರಿಗ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾರಿಗ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ ಇರೋಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಇರೋರು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಧಾರಾಳವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಂತಿಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು, ಇಂತಿಂತವ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೀಗ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜ್ಞಾನನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಚ್ಚರವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಮಯಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲು ಇರೋರನ್ನ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸೋಣ. ಅವರ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋಣ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆದಷ್ಟು ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯಾಗಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನ, ವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ನಾವು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಏನೇನು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನ್ ಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಆದಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡದ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಧ್ಯಾನ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನಾನು ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಯಾವ ದೇವ್ರ ಪೂಜೆ ಅದು ಇದು ಏನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರೋಳು, ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗದೆ ಇರೋಳು, ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ದೇವ್ರ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನೀನು ಈ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರನ ಒಂದು 108 ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡು, ನೀನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೋ, ಹೌದಾ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗತ್ತಾ, ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗುರುಗಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಗುರುಮುಖೇನಾನೇ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವ ಗುರುಗಳನ್ನ ಹುಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ? ಗಣಪತಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಅಪ್ಪ ಗಣಪತಿ ನೀನು ವಿದ್ಯಾಗುರು, ನೀನೇ ನನ್ನನ್ ಗುರು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ನಾನ್ 108 ಜಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. 3 ವರ್ಷ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ದಿನಾ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ದೇವ್ರ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ತಲೆಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೆಂಗಸರು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಗಂಡಸರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುದ್ರೆಗಳು ತೋರ್ಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನ್ ತಲೆಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. 108 ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಮಾಡದೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ನೀನು ನಿನಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರನು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡು ಅನ್ನೋ ಮನೋಭಾವ ನನ್ ಮನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನೋ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು ಅಂತ ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ ನಮ್ ಹಿಂದೂ ಧರ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋಂತ ಮಹಾ ಮಂತ್ರ ಅದು. ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನೋ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಖವಾಗಿ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ನೀನೂ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರ್ತೀಯ, ನಿನ್ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲಿನ ಜೀವನನೂ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಭಾವನೆ ನಾನು ಆ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಂತು. ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಮುಕ್ಕಾಲ್ ಗಂಟೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಂತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್, ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಪಾರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಜನ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಸಿಗ್ತತೆ. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ನೀನ್ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಯಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ದ. ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋನು, ನಾನು 1 ವರ್ಷದವನಿದ್ದಾಗ್ಲಿಂದ ನಡಿಯಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದಲ್ಲ ಕಣಯ್ಯ, ಈ ಲಾಲ್ ಬಾಗಾಗ್ ಬಂದು ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಈ ತರದ ತಮಾಷೆಗಳು ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬಿಚ್ಚಿ ಕಣ್ಣು ಬಿಚ್ಚಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡದೆ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲಿರೋ ಪ್ರಪಂಚನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಸೋದ್ ಕಲೀರಿ. ಬದುಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟ ಕಡೆಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಕೊನೆಯ ಹನಿಯವರೆಗೂ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಹಾದಿಗೆ ಬೀಳ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ, ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಆರೋಗ್ಯದಾಯಕ, ಮನಸ್ಸೇ ಮೊದಲ ವೈದ್ಯ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗೂ ಯುಗಾದಿಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ವಾಸ್ತವತೆನ ಅದಿಗ್ ಬಂದ ಹಾಗೆ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದ್ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪದ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಗುವೆ ಜೀವನದ ಹೊಂಗಿರಣ, ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಎನ್ನುವುದು ಬಾಳಿನ ಸಿಹಿ ಹೂರಣ. ನಂಬೇಕು, ನಾವ್ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನು ನಂಬದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅನುಮಾನದಲ್ಲೇ ಬದುಕಿ ಅನುಮಾನದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮರಳಿ ಬರುವ ಯುಗಾದಿಯಂತೆ ಸದಾ ಅರಳುತ್ತಿರಲಿ ಬದುಕಿನ ಆಶಾ ಕಿರಣ. ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಹೊಸ ಹೊಸ ಜೀವನ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಮೇಡಮ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನಗುವುದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ we have forgotten to even smile. So you made us laugh. Lovely jokes you said. Thank you so much. Just like how the emotional strength is important, there is a strong connect to spirituality. And we have our calm, composed, compassionate Mrs. Swapna Rao, who embodies the spirit of spirituality. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning to all my dear friends and the viewers as well. Wish you all a very happy Yugadi. I have been assigned the task of talking about how spirituality and spiritual practices helped me in coping with my journey through the treatment for cancer. I was always interested in spirituality. I did a lot of reading. I attended lectures by different gurus. I joined the Art of Living, practiced pranayama, mudras, meditation, and all this was done merely out of curiosity. And initially, I was also very skeptical about where it would lead me. But then, when I think back now, I feel all that had happened then was a preparation for the worst moments of my life, or the most difficult moments of my life. This kind of a training actually helps you in changing your mindset. And when you can control your mind and perceive things differently, you can also control your emotions. Because the first thing that comes to our minds when we are given a diagnosis such as this is, why me? Why me? And we sink into self-pity, we become very emotional, we cry. Little do we realize that we are wasting so much energy in weeping over things and doing something which we should not be doing, because that energy should be conserved to help you overcome your disease, to help the body heal. So when this thought came up in my mind, it came up in my mind too. But the very minute it came up, I had my Guruji's question surfacing from my consciousness. I remembered him asking us to ask ourselves, why not me? How am I any different from anybody else? The moment that question came up, why not me? I was better able to accept the problem that I was facing. I became calmer, more collected, decided to focus on what I could do to help me heal my body. Looked for the best doctors, went for the best advice. And then this also kept me so peaceful that I was able to surrender to that life force which actually runs our bodies. We think we are in charge of our bodies, but we are not. Our hearts are beating, we are breathing, every organ in our body is functioning, but we are not doing anything about it. We are not making it happen. It's happening. It's the life force, the universal life force, which is making things happen. So you have faith in that life force and surrender to it. And say, you will allow me to heal, allow my body to heal. Stay calm, stay peaceful, and surrender. That was the beautiful thing I experienced through my illness. And being diagnosed with third stage cancer, 6 harsh chemos, and 28 radiations, it wasn't easy. I climbed in and out of depressions. I clawed my way back up. All this was thanks to the faith that I had that I could do it. And whatever the outcome might be, I would not give up fighting. I would have faith. So that was what took me through. And I was able to, because I was calm, I was able to organize my days better. It was almost about 7 to 9 months, almost, I think, 9 months of treatment. I was able to organize my days better. I would get up in the morning, start off with the pranayama. If I didn't have the strength for Sudarshan Kriya, I would go off into mudra pranayamas, push up my energy, then do some painting, some creative work. My mind was peaceful enough to be able to indulge in those things. In the evening, it was meditation. And when I felt very weak, it would be guided meditation. It's easier to do guided meditation when you're not full of energy. And then I would listen to mantras, Vedic mantras, which gave me the right vibrations. It was a total self-help program that I designed for myself, thanks to all the training that I had from my different gurus. And I believe that all of us can do it. Tap into your inner source. You are the source. That's what my Guruji says. You are the source. And he had also said, use all the spiritual knowledge as your life jacket. And I did. It was the life jacket that I wore to survive. And I believe that each one of you should turn to spirituality. It is never too late. And also it's never too early. Allow your children to get introduced to it. The earlier, the better, because you'll face life better. And it's not just cancer, it is any problem in life that you will handle better, thanks to your being able to understand your own mind. And we are blessed to be born in India, a country in which our ancestors have left so much knowledge for us, so much spiritual knowledge. Make use of it. And with all that knowledge, you will be able to see the brightness of the stars through the darkest of your nights. And I wish all of you a very happy Yugadi once again, and happy to be associated with Prameya and all the doctors and all the other friends here. And although my connection with you all is pretty recent, I hope to have a long relationship with you and invite all those who need help to reach out and enjoy having such people around them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Such lovely, positive words and very motivating. All of us have to tune into spirituality and see the divine, guiding us through most of our difficult times in life. Ma'am, you also took up classical music.
Yes. Post-treatment is also not easy. All the chemicals would have shaken you up so much, and you have to keep going. So I took up things like music and beading. I took up classical music at the age of 52. I started off with Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa, and I have done 4 years of music now. And I started learning how to make bead jewelry, and it's blossomed into a beautiful hobby now. And I call it bead meditation. Any creative endeavor will help you reach God, because if you put yourself into it 100%, your mind is at peace. So that is another way to combat your emotional issues and mental issues. So I'm actually having a good time in life now. It's been 7 years since I finished my treatment, and let's see how much longer it'll go on. So
I'm sure by God's grace, you will have a very healthy, happy life, ma'am. I'm sure.
Thank you so
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing all your thoughts. And like Swapna ma'am said, any activity that we pursue passionately is like meditation. And who better to tell us about fitness than Manjula, the smart tech savvy lady who was with us on our last month's episode. Manjula, you love to be called a fitness freak. So
Yes, ma'am.
tell us about how fitness has always played an important role in your life.
Good morning, everybody. Wishing a happy Yugadi and happy New Year. Yeah, I was diagnosed as breast cancer in the year 2020 during the Corona days, and this was early Corona in the month of March and month of May. I recently completed my treatment in the month of February. It was about 9 months, and again. It was as usual. It was very shocking to me, and then I went through 16 chemos and 25 radiations. I recently completed. Yes, to talk about fitness, God has given a beautiful gift to all of us: the gift to be born as a human being. I don't think any life on the planet can be replaced with this wonderful gift. If that is the case, should we not consciously decide what we want to do and take care of ourselves to live happy life, be it emotionally, physically, psychologically, or mentally? Yeah, fitness plays an important role in anybody's life. Nobody would want to have any kind of health problems or ailments to appear in anybody's lives. Every person wishes to have a good health, lead happy life till the end. In this process, it is a moral responsibility to take care of our body to be fit. That's what I've been doing since 15 years. I've been doing one or the other activity in my life that has paid me, to bounce back to, as quickly as possible after my treatment. So even during my chemo days, how hard it is, everyone knows who has gone through this treatment. But that fitness definitely helped me a lot in and facing the physical strength. So everyone is aware that healthy body is healthy mind, and it is more important that everybody maintains a good health by doing some kind of an activity, be it walking, jogging, yoga, dance, swimming, badminton, whatever it is. I think we should dedicate 1 hour of time in 1 hour of time to ourselves to do some kind of a physical activity and invest ourselves to keep our body fit. That's what I was doing all the way. But it is even after doing this kind of activities, it does not guarantee that you will not get any kind of an element or any kind of health issues, be it cancer or any other the disease. But it is only that you will be able to manage in a better way if you are doing some kind of an activity and religiously following all these regime during these deformities. So even, yeah, that's what I said. Also that when I got detected with cancer, even during the chemo days, I was doing 3 to 4 days I was off, and then I used to do a lot of yoga, again walking, dancing, and going to badminton. All those things I was doing during the chemo days. So that helped me a lot in to handle the situation, and then to be fit, to be physically able to do these things in a better way. So my message to everybody is that do some kind of an activity and be committed towards that, and then religiously follow, such that you will be able to handle the situation in a better way. Get fit and don't quit is my message. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Very powerful words. Important for all of us to do some form of physical activity, whatever that makes us happy, and something which is sustainable on a long-term basis, so that if at all we have to face some difficult situation, any health issues in life, we can quickly bounce back to normalcy. So
Yeah,
thank you, Manjula. Thank you, Manjula. And we have a shy mathematics teacher who actually gave us a lot of courage during her talk in our Joy of Life episode. So Lakshmi ma'am, you had mentioned about how yoga helped you sit down. You said that you were not sure if you would be able to sit down. And then when you took up yoga, you're able to happily sit down. Please share your experience with all of us.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning. Happy Yugadi to all.
Happy Yugadi.
I thank Prameya. See, after my surgery and chemo, I was doing some work. I was doing crochet work. Then Sandhya ma'am called me. I joined Prameya, the Sahay Fence program. That gave me immense self-satisfaction. That is self-confidence. I got it. Then through that, I've never done yoga before. Tell the truth, I never done it. Then I started yoga. Then I was not breast cancer, I was ovarian cancer. So see, all this treatment, I could not sit down, all those things happened. Then Swati ma'am introduced me to yoga. Then I found it is very useful. Then they started the general yoga session. Swati ma'am said, you have to go to general yoga, not restrictive yoga. And I started yoga. That gave me immense relief. I had some sciatic problem, everything. And I was doing regularly yoga. Now also I am continuing that. It's a very good exercise. And you do it in for full self-control. That is what important. Don't see some yoga asanas and all, you may not have done it. And it is not possible something. But you put your effort, 100% effort, and you can do it. It gives me immense relief. Now I'm continuing that. Since 4 years, I'm continuing that yoga. And I'm really like it.
So you're able to sit down, you said. You can sit down for some time.
I can sit down now. I can sit for 1 hour. That is not an issue.
Wow.
Do the pranayama and everything. Yeah. That's what I said, it is yoga is very useful.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So this is a great message to all of us that, even we can start with small steps. We should not think it's late in life. All of us should start and do little at least.
I never did it before.
Yeah.
Only after this treatment, I started.
Very nice. And then, ma'am, you also loved classical music. So you said you used to listen to Carnatic music. That gave you a lot.
It's a lot of what you call self-discipline. I listen to music and do my crochet work and all. I used to listen all type of music, and especially the Raga Alapana. I like it very much.
So that also calmed you.
Calm your mind. And whenever I sit quietly, I used to listen some song. I used to try to find out which raga it is. And it is just suddenly, if you hear one raga, you cannot find out which one. Then you should listen carefully, and you have to find out. That I'm doing it now. Any song I hear, I used to correlate with some songs, and I used to do now.
Very nice. So that's that again has a little spiritual dimension to it, because our classical Indian music has always been, rooted towards the divine. So it's always in praise of the Lord. So that again gives a lot of mental courage and strength.
Yeah. Mental courage and calm your mind.
Calm your mind. Yes. That nothing is in our hands. It's all His will ultimately. So we are just, just mere puppets. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for those lovely words.
Mm.
And yes, we need to have a strong mind and a fit body. But
Yeah,
both of
strong mind
these,
and fit body. But
yes.
fit body, we have to make up, that's all.
Correct. But then, what is the root for all this? Good food. Who better to tell us about a healthy, balanced diet than our own Dr. Sharada, who is like the coordinator for this entire Joy of Life series of programs. And she's so enthusiastic, full of life, and very talented. When we saw her first episode on Sanji Art, we were amazed at the amount of creativity she has. But she believes in eating a healthy, balanced diet and maintaining the right BMI. So Dr. Sharada, please share with us your knowledge on nutrition and diet.
Thank you, Dr. Lalita. Thank you so much. First, I would like to wish all the viewers a very happy Ugadi and a year full of joy, happiness, and good health. Yes, balanced diet is very, very important. And I realized that during my treatment. Actually, I had put on a lot of weight and I could hardly walk. 10 steps used to make me really tired. Then I was reading through some medical journals and I saw that if we are overweight, the chances of recurrence are very high. So I really got scared and I thought God has given me a warning signal and he has told me, you better lose weight. So I started attending the sessions at Pramaya, and thanks to all of them at Pramaya, I lost 10 kgs. Now you all won't believe that I can walk continuously for an hour or at least 1 hour, 15 minutes. Sometimes I even walk continuously for 1.5 hours. And I feel very light. And all my family members said, why do you want to lose weight now? You've just come out of the treatment. Why do you want to go on a diet? So what I told them is, this is not a diet. It's a balanced diet. I'm having a healthy diet and I still maintain that diet. So I'm happy. I feel light. I'm very active. I do a lot of work. And what I would like to tell all the viewers and those, especially the youngsters who are facing these problems of obesity, don't wait to lose weight. Just meet a dietitian and start losing the right way, eat healthy food, and be fit.
Excellent motivational talk. And I'm sure your dietitian gives you a little bit of cheat meals here and there, or no?
Yes, surely.
Otherwise, it's very difficult to all the time stick to a diet plan, no? So
yes,
I think a healthy
sweets and samosas sometimes.
That's nice. So then only the motivation will be there to stick on to a diet plan. So that's really heartening. So good to know that there are healthy diet plans available, which also gives you scope for little cheat meals here and there. And very important for everyone to maintain a healthy BMI to prevent most of the non-communicable diseases. And it's absolutely possible to lose weight and keep it off. It's not difficult at all. It's very easy. Just have to have the mind and the willpower to keep doing it. On the same lines, we have a young, cute garden entrepreneur with us, Vasuki Ramesh, who really surprised us with all the knowledge on gardening and microgreens, hydroponics, and gave us so much of valuable knowledge. And she believes that we should grow our own food and eat it because it's devoid of chemicals and fertilizers. And there are a lot of studies to link, rampant usage of chemicals in food, which could trigger off cancer. So what better message can Vasuki give us than all of us starting to grow our own little vegetable garden? Vasuki?
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi.
Morning.
Morning. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Vasuki.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, viewers, and a happy and a green morning to everyone here. Okay. So see, when I went through my cancer journey, when the doctor advised me that we should go for fresh and green, fresh vegetables, better to eat, which is chemical free and all that. Then that was the time it struck me that I should have my own garden where I can grow my own food and eat it too without any hinges. I know what I have sown. I know where the water comes from. I know what nutrition fertilizer I put in that. So that helped me a lot in overcoming the depression also what I was going through after the treatment. When I used to look at my plants, I used to feel that I'm in a park because I could not go out to the park for a stroll because of infection fear. So I used to come here, I used to stroll out, have a nice, spend about 1 hour in a day in the whole garden and do small gardening jobs at that time when treatment was going on. After that, I could do my entire garden. I think you can see a little bit of at the back of me, you can see a small garden what I have here. Here I have started growing right from small greens like methi or dantu sopo, what we call coriander, spinach and all that. And from there, I've graduated to the not only the flower garden, even to the vegetables and fruits also. Where we have even pomegranates, mango, then guavas, then figs we have, and so many like that. And even all vegetables also I'm growing right now. So this has given me immense pleasure. I just can't explain how it is. Like it's just like when a child is born and it just grows into a big man or a woman later on. It's the same feeling comes when you grow a plant. When it starts fruiting or gives you flowers, whichever it is. I'm not talking only about this, anything it can be. So whatever suits you, it's really gives you that happiness which nobody else can give, I felt. And you're in your own world, nobody need not control you for anything. And probably it takes off that weight of the disease what we have gone through. It's kind of meditation for me. If the other of my friends who went into the spiritual way or the fitness way or the music or whatever, for me gardening is my meditation. So whenever I feel I'm depressed, I come into here and that's it. By the time I go back to the house, I'm fully okay. So I encourage all of you, please, I call upon all of you to do some gardening, little bit at least. And maybe start with something smaller one, not very big. Don't go into a very big one. Have a small garden where you can have just grow your small things like daily needs like chilies or greens or something like that. And then graduate into a bigger one. I urge all of you, grow your own food, grow what you eat and eat what you grow. That is what my motto is to everybody. And thank you all of you for listening to me. And I'm very happy Ugadi to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vasuki. Very inspiring. I think we'll all start at least growing the greens at home. We'll start with methi and coriander at least,
yes,
which is available in our kitchen, and we'll take the first step towards having a little garden. Yes. I think. Thank you so much. So, dear friends, I think as you've heard all of our lovely participants here speak about how they have found their solace and their courage, doing little things that made them happy and go through this journey of life comfortably. I would request Dr. Sandhya to sum up the whole session, as she had discussed in the beginning about the 4 components of supportive care at Prameya, which is the functional, emotional, nutritional, and spiritual. So if ma'am could just sum it up, because each one is important in its own way. And everyone has shared a little about their being functionally fit, emotionally strong, spiritually calm, and nutritionally sound. So it's like a little of everything that everyone has incorporated in their own journeys and have come out strong and shining, and very motivating for all of us to take a little from each of them. So Sandhya ma'am, would you please sum it up for us?
So you've said it all, Dr. Lalita Priya. Each one of them gave us a wonderful insight into what supportive care is all about. Like I said, it is much more than just the academic definition of supportive care. It's not just functional, emotional, nutritional, spiritual, as we have designed it and structured at Prameya. Listening to each one of you has brought out the essence of each of those things. So what is fitness about? Manjula said, you've got a beautiful body. Human birth is a gift. Let us work on it. Let us nurture it very carefully. Sharada said, eating right is important. And how can we do that is what Vasuki spoke to us about. Both Sunita and Swapna, wonderful inner strength through their spiritual practices, which I love that saying, you all wore as a life jacket to get you through the difficult times. And of course, our Manjula Vasant kept us laughing. Her attitude in life is something which really perks us up. Thank you for being there for us, Manjula, to make us laugh. Lakshmi, I think what you spoke about, listening to music, using that as an intellectual exercise. You said finding ragas, focusing, trying to get some meaning out of it. And also one other thing which Lakshmi does, which I want to bring out, is that she crochets, and she does it for others. She doesn't have breast cancer. She was treated for ovarian cancer, but of late she's got into designing breast prosthesis through crochet for people who can't afford the more expensive ones, which is such an admirable task. There are lots of us waiting to learn that from her, and it would be Prameya's offering to the breast cancer survivors. So that was really nice. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Jyoti, who has seen it all over the years, and through the years how differently and how the perception of supportive care has emerged. I just want her to say a few words in conclusion.
Okay. First, I would like to thank all you lovely ladies for sharing your experiences, each in their own different way. Like Dr. Sandhya and Dr. Lalita Priya have already highlighted and mentioned. I just want to say here, like very correctly, like what Dr. Sandhya has already mentioned, all the unmet needs of cancer survivors have to be addressed and met for the continuous and complete healing of the whole disease process. I'm extremely happy again to reiterate that I'm associated with Prameya now, and in my own small way, I would like to contribute towards the healing of patients. I think we have come to the end of our program, and I hope all our viewers have benefited in some way, either for themselves or for their family members or for their friends from our program. And they must at least come to the understanding that cancer is not the end. It is a new beginning, just like our Ugadi. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for those wonderful, inspiring words, ma'am. Yes, Hosa Varsha, Hosa Harsha. So once again, Prameya wishes all of you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous Ugadi. Thank you all so much for being part of this show today. And please do continue to be watching every month. We have our Joy of Life episode on the first Saturday of every month. Do continue to be with us every month. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Stay. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.